Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Desync. Vanilla Edition. We last left off, I had started farming, and now, after a lot of patience, and so I spent the last 6 hours tilling all the ground that I wanted to use for the farm. That took a long time. Most of that time was just spent watching Kurt J. Mack, and his final journey to the far lands. And he made it. He made it. It was a beautiful sight. Now, I'm in here because I realize I've fucked up. Got a few torches. That's easy enough to fix. But what I'm really bothered by is this. How I screwed this up, I don't know how. Did you not? Oh, I'm gonna die. This is like a terrible place to fight. I'm coming out this side now. That hurt. I don't have food on me. So, the next part of this entire process is to put wheat down, which I will do at a later time. But the main improvement that this does, which I might just include to expand this a little further, and I'm going to have to clear a few islands or turn them into rock, is that is now working slightly better. The slightly is doing a lot of heavy lifting, because I actually got a few sheep in there for once. As I was just kind of sitting there, kind of just seeing how well it performed. So I might finish this section off, even though I really didn't want to. I might do it, because that's just even more space. And what I'm going to have to do is out here, I'm going to have to kill all this. I'm going to have to kill all this grass. Because that, unfortunately, is more stuff that is actually taking up valuable space. Or not valuable space, but viable spawning potential. I'm not entirely sure how these spawn mechanics work, and I can't find anything on the mechanical wiki. Or just the old Minecraft wiki in general. So, I'm kind of at a loss on how to actually make this thing function. But the only thing that I do know is just by just completely tank the spawning abilities everywhere else in the world, and they will have no choice but to spawn where I want them. That's just a slow and painful process. So this, I'm going to hold off on filling in any further. And what I do fill it in with, I might just turn this into a cobblestone slab. Or I might just add it to my villa. Just add it to the farming villa, because honestly, I don't see a better way. Because now the entities are just kind of spawning in this super small area. So, it is an improvement. So, that has been nice. The annoying part is fences take forever to break. Also, they're not cheap. Well, they're cheap, but not cheap. So we have been getting wheat. The seed count has been quite thoroughly expanded by at least double. Problem is, it's still not enough. And that really boils... That really is the determining factor on how fast I can fill this thing. The other thing is... The other option I have is to expand that, so that is the only thing. Problem is there's no good direction to expand. I am not entirely certain on how to expand that. Because that's pretty well spaced. Problem is I can't see inside, so I can't see what it's doing. I don't have replay mod, so I also can't see what it's doing. I literally have to go by trial and error, or I could install the X-ray mod if I can even find a working version back this far, and also look inside. But that's also cheating. So I really don't want to do that either. So my options are limited. So, but all this has left our wood stocks, and I'd shoot through a lot of iron. I gave up on using stone. I just kept coming back too much. I'm just like, to hell with it. Iron it is. Diamond was still too expensive, and it still is. And those guys, chickens, have just done nothing but ruin my entire day. They're like the one entity that could actually get very far without me noticing and just trampling everything. And because the underside of these, the farmland is grass because it's transparent, so it grows underneath all that stuff. All it takes is a patch of dirt that I don't notice that turns into grass, which then the 2 seconds that the entities get to spawn on there, cause more problems, repeat, and then all of a sudden this thing's gone. So yeah, I have scoured that thing to make sure that there is no dirt at all. As far as I can tell, I got every ounce of dirt out of there. Now the idea was to put the town over here, if we did make one. But now, given our new build requirements, I'm not so certain. And even if, let's say, I choose to build out here and just re-add the sandy shoreline, I still have to place all that dirt and then that sand back, because I'm not going to just fill this in with sand. Are you crazy? No. I'll make a layer of dirt and then sand on top. Yeah, there's not really much I can do out here. I wonder what we can. Let's just chop down this piece of the forest. We might put it back, but putting it back is easier. We just put saps down. Let's just focus on re-getting our lumber supply. That'll be the first step. We're gonna just work on restocking after all this material has been used. Now I am gonna need cobblestone and other stuff, so I will have to. Either do some branch mining or take a trip to the monolith and harvest everything that exists out there. again. One of the two is going to happen. But I guess I could tell how I found Kurt. And it all starts with a man named Co. Much like any story of Minecraft, everything starts and ends with Co. Co-star, good buddy, not buddy, but a good creator, had essentially, you know, stopped posting content because life, things got in the way. And this was like, I think, around 1.0 when he stopped. And well, I'm being the young small whippersnapper. I decided, like, well, I want more Minecraft content, but I don't know who to go for. The AlexCast stopped doing stuff. The Shadow of Israfel I loved, and they stopped doing it. And then I had Co. And well, as you saw, I had a few more on the list, but I wouldn't find them until I found Kurt. Kurt was mentioned in one of his videos of Beta 1.8. One of Co's videos. And he said, like, I enjoyed watching his Farlands or Bust series, so that's where I found Kurt. Like, well, he's not making stuff, but Kurt is, so I'll go to Kurt. And in that time frame, Kurt had also joined the Minecraft crew. So that's where I found them. I am not going to take these trees down. I'm going to mark them. So that was kind of how I stumbled into Kurt. And Kurt at the time had a video of Farland to Bust every, I believe, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or it might have been Tuesday and Thursdays. One of those two. It was one of those two sets of days. And he did essentially what I did. Sorta. Or what we're currently doing. He would sit down, record 20 minutes, basically to, you know, round out a Minecraft day, get as far as he could, and continue doing that, so. And while that format isn't popular anymore for many reasons, and I know it's not popular, but it is just a casual podcasty friend type thing that we're trying to go for. The core concepts of him wandering to the Farlands never really changed. He just kept going, and going, and going, which is cool. And so today, as of the day of recording, he has finished his journey. All 12 million blocks have been traversed. And now he gets to do other things, I guess. I don't know what those things might be. Will he continue to the Cornerlands? Will he continue to... Will he build a whole bunch of stuff at the Farlands as a single-player world? Will he make it like a new single-player world for a while? If he was to do that, I would personally generate a lot more chunks of the Farlands before doing anything else. Because I don't know, because if he decides he wants to, you know, do new stuff, well, he's going to lose the lands. So... Oh boy. Ow. Ow. I know he also did the Castaway series, Kurt did, which was originally his 292202 seed. That was his F3 monument. It just happened to be one of the seeds where he just spawned in the middle of nowhere. Not even a tree. He you don't have a tree, just to bounce in a direction for who knows how long. So I watched that until he stopped doing that, and he played on the Minecraft server for a hot while. Winded that down. And now, and then he just kept doing Farlands or Bust, I get. And, you know, continues chatting. It became more of a stream thing. That's okay. For what he did, it was more podcasty anyway. So, streams worked out nice. You can get live feedback or live chatters and just talk to them as well. Get like a good ping pong. It's not a bad thing. It is very difficult to yap for 20 minutes. I feel it. A little introverted fellow like myself. As well, kind of. I get it. Okay. So we got a lot of these trees. How much wood we got? Oh, 4. Alright, we cleared out most of this forest, as I was saying, before I was really interrupted. So we got lots of goodies. Now that, like, the items are, not items, but the grass is isolated. I'm getting a lot more sheep in a smaller area. I don't have to chase them so bad. I know I need to, at some point, go back to the model. If there's a diamond sword there that's almost full, I want to go grab that and not make a new one, if I can help it. Spider? I heard him. I don't want him in my farm if I can find him. If that's the case, then I need to rework this entire setup. Oh, that's out of bounds. That's why you're not gonna. There we go. All the sheep bouncing over there. Okay, let's dump off our wood. Got plenty of dirt. Let's start cooking these pork chops while I'm putting everything away. Guess we don't have really a wood chest, do we? This will have to do. Get all this cooked. We got plenty of meat now. Not like we don't have plenty of food out here anyway. We got stacks on stacks and stacks of wheat. We'll be fed for days. Okay, looks like there's not much else for me to put away until the pork is done cooking. Not much left. Getting plenty of wool though. We're gonna be able to build at least something massive out of wool. Maybe a pixel art? I don't know. Hard telling what I'll make. I might have to rebuild that at spawn, this passive guy. Which is gonna suck because I didn't want to build it at the passive. Part of me wishes I built both the passive and hostile farms back in alpha. That way that I wouldn't have to double build it. But in Secret Saturday, that's getting passives is not really a problem. It's getting the materials, really. But as long as you don't kill the sheep, they'll regrow their wool. So that's nice. But here I have to slaughter them because they then take up entity space. Good amount of pork chops, which we'll probably use very quickly, but it is what it is. All right. A little field of wheat. I might tear this down. But in any case, I missed one over there. In any case, I hope you all enjoyed watching, and we will see you all on the next episode of Minecraft Desynced Vanilla Edition. Bye-bye!